In previous episodes, we saw Dokja is in the underworld, negotiating with Pani, the queen of the underworld. She initially refuses to help him, but changes her mind when he promises her a grand story in exchange for hunting down a mysterious serpent. Meanwhile, Hades questions Pani's interest in Dokja, hinting at looming dangers. Dokja then finds himself in a dark passageway where he encounters Shin's spark-like presence. She pleads for his help, and he vows to save her. After temporarily losing her, he realizes that understanding the past is key to moving forward. Upon waking, Dokja completes a hidden scenario and earns rewards. He receives a new quest, serpent hunting, with a high difficulty level. Soon after, a major scenario begins, but only volunteers are allowed to participate. While many hesitate, Dokja is approached by the neutral king, Jihan, who insists on taking him along. The stakes are higher than ever as the kings of the world await Dokja's arrival. Dokja is walking towards it when a person stops him and tells him that he is sorry, but only kings are allowed beyond this point. Dokja looks at Heewon, and she nods in approval. Dokja and Gyan go inside, and Heewon tells Dokja to just scream if anything happens. The system notifies Dokja that the area is under the influence of a sound wave blocking skill. A person is speaking inside the tent. He says that Korea is already a step late, and he asks if they think that they will be able to handle them when they have the advantage. Suddenly, everyone notices that the last king is here. There are many kings sitting there. The king of beauty, Ji-won Men, the Matriarch king, Sangong-cha, the neutral king, Iloan, the king of the wanderers. The person wearing a suit asks Dokja who he is, and Dokja replies that he is Dokja. Dokja thinks that it is strange. He doesn't know this guy. The person clears his throat and shakes Dokja's hand. He tells Dokja that he is the president of UOHHOU. Dokja thinks that the president is dead already. Guan tells Dokja that HHO isn't a king, but he is here for now since he leads a faction of his own. He says that king nonsense again and asks if they think that they are in the Joseon era or something. He tells everyone that they are living in a liberal democratic society, so please come to their senses. Dokja opens his character summary. The screen notifies Dokja that his full name is Han Ho Yu. His supporting constellation is the master manipulator of intelligence, and his personal attribute is corrupt politicians. Personal skills include collecting bribes level 5, military command level 5, corrupt power level 6, and control of the masses level 7. Dokja remembers that he is the politician who cleared the first scenario at the National Assembly and survived. The system notifies him that the constellation Naval God of Warfare dislikes Han Hoyu. Dokja thinks that what usually happens is that the entire Uo area gets wiped out once monsters appear. But he guesses that Hano was lucky this time. The system notifies that the constellation Naval God of Warfare is upset with the corrupt Joseon politician. Ji-won points at the King of Wanderers and says Miss Song has joined them for similar reasons. Dokja looks at her and sits down in the chair. Dokja says that enough with the introductions. He would like to know why they wanted him here. Jian says that they are thinking about voting on which among them will participate in the 6th scenario. Hono says that everyone here has an MTH as a sizable following within the Soul Dome. He tells Dokja that he should consider it his honor that they invited him here despite his faction size because of how much he has contributed to completing the past scenarios. Dokja starts smiling and asks if that is so. Ponyo says that let him tell them again. It's about time they stop with this barbarism. They may have temporarily resorted to acting like uncultured cavemen and fought amongst themselves, but they are principled, law-abiding citizens who adhere to the rules of society. So it is only right that they choose who will participate in the next scenario through democratic means. Dokja thinks that most of what he says is nonsense, but he makes himself sound rather credible with his choice of words. G1 asks what exactly he is referring to by democratic means. Hano says that, as he proposed earlier, the number of people sent in each group should be proportional to how big their group is. Jian says that the group in Uo has the largest amount of people, and he doesn't see how that is fair at all. Hono tells Jian that he disappointed him and asks if they aren't all Koreans. He says that the number of people they get to send in isn't important. He says that they will be up against foreign forces in this scenario, so it won't matter which group they are from. He asks if they are going to bicker among themselves when the enemy is right in front of them. Jian starts smiling and says, just as he said, if it's not that important, then he doesn't see why he would want to send more people in. Hono says that he just meant that they should do things democratically. Dokja raises his hand and asks if that is all they are here to talk about. He says that he doesn't know what the big fuss is, and he asks why not just send whoever is willing to go. G1 says that they were going to do that, but things have changed. Dokja asks what she means, and she replies that there is a limit on how many people can participate. She tells Dokja that the other kings have all received the news from their ubai, and she guesses Dokja hasn't gotten it yet. Suddenly, the system notifies Dokja that the number of participants allocated for the Soul Dome is 10, and additional participants will be allowed depending on each of the incarnations' progress in the scenario. Dokja thinks, so that is what they were fighting about. Unlike the other incarnations, which were afraid of the scenario, the kings understood the importance of getting a head start. They believed that the more of their own people they could get to participate early on, the better chance they have to control the scenario. In other words, this is a meeting of kings held to fight over the ruling. G1 says that she will go. They have heard that there were many Japanese people in this scenario, so it's only right for her, as the descendant of the Silla, to lead the way. Sang-Young-cha says that is nonsense. It should be he who leads the way, as they have had many cultural exchanges with Japan. Hono says that it should be him who leads the way, and says that their supporting constellations are like fossils. Jian tells everyone to calm down. Dokja looks at the King of Wanderers and wonders why she is looking at him like that. He wonders if she's testing him to see if he can resolve the situation. Dokja picks a snack from the table and asks why they are arguing among themselves when the last king hasn't arrived yet. At the same time, there's a blast outside. After the blast, everyone is shocked to see Yu standing there with his 1 foot on HHO. G1 says that the Supreme King is here, and Yu looks at Dokja, who is comfortably eating his snack. Yu tells everyone that he will now announce the people who will be participating in the upcoming scenario. If they have any objections, then let's hear them. Everyone is afraid of Yu. Kono tells Yu to take his foot off him. Yu forces his foot on him even harder. Hi-Ho starts coughing and calls for his security, but Yu has already defeated them outside. Hano passes out and foam comes out of his mouth. Yu says he guessed the security isn't coming. He says now, he will then. Who will be in the scenario? G1 glances at Dokja and wonders why he is so calm. Dokja thinks that he is sorry, but he is not in the same boat as them because Yu has acknowledged him as his ally, although he keeps threatening him, saying that the contract period is over, but he pretty much admitted that he needs him. Yu says that the first member will be, of course, him. Dokja is puzzled and wonders why he wouldn't be on the list that he made himself. Yu says a second person will be Jihe, and Ji starts grinning. Dokja is annoyed and thinks that it is a little surprising that he thought it would be him. Dokja thinks that he wasn't a member of his original group after all, and the others might be upset if he gets called before they do. Yu says that the third person will be Siwa. John thinks that there are still 7 spots left, so there's still a chance for them. G1 thinks that they are the strongest of all the remaining, so it is their turn next. Sang-Young-cha thinks that those 3 are the only ones in the Supreme King's group. Now he will have to choose people from outside his group for the remaining spots. Yu says that the 4th person will be, and everyone is shocked to hear that Yu says the 5th person is Hui Wenjiang and the 6th is Gilang Lei. Yu glares at Shin, and Gilang puts his hand in front of her and glares back at Yu. Yu looks at Dokja, and Dokja thinks that it is finally his turn and thinks that Yu saved the best option for last. No wonder he's the main character. He knows how to run a show. Dokja takes another bite of the snack. Yu looks at him angrily and tells them that they can all decide on the rest. Dokja starts chewing on the snack he is eating. Yu leaves the tent while Dokja is sitting in his chair. He is shocked and wonders, what about him? He-Wen asks Dokja if they aren't friends. Dokja says that is what he thinks too. The system notifies that the constellation demonic judge of fire is laughing contently. Jihe asks Dokja why he didn't talk to Master last night. She thought he would definitely be on the list. Dokja asks Jihe what she means, and she tells Dokja that Master said he was going to see him last night. Dokja asks about the time, and she replies that it was around 1 or 2. Dokja thinks that must have been right before he visited the underworld. He was awake then, but Yu didn't come. Suddenly, Dokja realizes that before he went to the underworld, he was drinking with S, and that must be the reason Yu didn't meet him last night. The system notifies Dokja that the constellation god of alcohol smiles mischievously. Dokja is in shock and thinks, no way, you saw all of that. The system notifies Dokja that the constellation demonic judge of fire is smiling contently, and he has been gifted 500 coins. Dokja tells them everything that happened. He-Wen asks if he kissed S. Dokja says that is not what he said and asks if she was even listening to him. Hewan asks if he is sure that it was because of Dionysus. Maybe he pretended to be drunk to kiss S. Dokja says no, it was because of Dionysus, and nothing happened between him and S. Hui Wen looks closely into Dokja's eyes, and Dokja thinks that she doesn't believe him at all. She says maybe that's what you saw and left him out as a courtesy. Dokja says that he is not the type of person to do that. Hewan says that even if Yu had seen Dokja kiss S, she wouldn't have seen why he would be offended. The system notifies that the constellation, demonic judge of fire, says that it is camaraderie. Hewan asks, because of camaraderie? Ji-hee starts laughing and asks if that is what her supporting constellation said. Hewan asks what that means. Ji-hee says if that's the case, then he thinks that he understands. He says that if he came to think of it, he would be offended too if Dokja did something like that. Everyone is confused when they hear that, and they look at him. The system notifies that the constellation demonic judge of fire is excited to hear such an unexpected statement. Ji-hee asks why he would be upset. He replies that he puts his life on the line in every scenario he takes part in. Both he and Mr. Yu are training each morning in order to survive in the upcoming scenario. They repeatedly and rigorously train themselves day after day so that they may be able to protect their comrades in battle. And if a comrade of his, who should have his back, was Dokabi something like that because he was overcome with lust, then how could he not be upset? He clenches his teeth and says, if someone who went to an all-boy high school saw that, then anyone would feel betrayed. He says that from what he has seen so far, Mr. Yu was a man of self-restraint and has always been very militaristic in every sense of the word. Despite not being in the military, it would be natural for someone like him to react strongly to something that could disrupt his line of command. He must have felt his camaraderie falling apart. Hui Wen says that makes sense. Dokja wonders if he could be right. The system notifies that the constellation demonic judge of fire nods in agreement. Dokja remembers that in the novel, Yu told someone he is pathetic for chasing tail all this time. Anyone who has such lustful desires will be removed from his team as they are prone to cause trouble. Dokja thinks that he wouldn't feel so bad about it if he had actually kissed S. He thinks that it is too late to tell them that it is all a misunderstanding. Dokja is looking at his mobile when Jian tells him that they are thinking of choosing the remaining participants. Jian says that they have 4 remaining since the Supreme King decided to take 6 people with him. John says that they'll have to pick 4 from the people here. Sangyung says since there are only 4 of them left, they should battle it out between them. After some time, the kings fight with each other. S.Y. Cha is unconscious and Jian is panting. Jian says that he will just stay back because someone needs to be here to rule over the people. Ji-won says no way. She thought it was just the Supreme King they had to look out for. She asked Dokja how he got so strong. Dokja tells her that the men who have just been selected are only the starting members, so be on stand. The second batch should be sent soon. Dokja thinks that they should have done this from the beginning. Ji-won stands up and says, it is what it is. She asks Dokja who he is sending in now that he has earned 4 spots. Dokja says that including himself, he will take Shin. He tells Hewan to go on ahead as he has some business to take care of, and everyone leaves the tent. Only Dokja and the King of Wanderers remain. She says that Dokja has made many friends, and Dokja tells her that she has been a long-time mother. She takes off her mask and says that they saw each other last time. Dokja says he just passed her then and thinks that she's still the same. She only looks as if she's in her late 30s. People used to ask him if she was his cousin when he was younger. Dokja thinks that he thought of just ignoring her, but he needs her help to complete the upcoming scenario. Dokja asks when she got out of prison. She says a week ago. Dokja asked if she was in Seoul, and she said that she had just been visiting to see someone. Dokja asks if that is how she got trapped in the Seoul Dome, and she says that's right. Dokja asks her if she was released, and then why she is wearing a prisoner's uniform. She says it was because she wanted to make up for what she did. She tells Dokja that all human beings are prisoners and that they all live in cells of their own. Dokja thinks that she's just as arrogant as ever. She really hasn't changed at all. She tells Dokja that he should thank her. Things would have been difficult without her. Dokja thinks that she is right about that. She led her people and defeated the catastrophe of the North. Even though it was weak, it was still a catastrophe. She tells Dokja that he doesn't seem pleased to see her when it has been so long. Dokja asks if she really wants something like that, and she replies, a little. The system notifies Dokja that personal skill lie detection level 1 has been activated. It says that the statement just now was a lie. Dokja starts smiling and thinks that he knows she is lying, but he has to check. Dokja tells his mother that he is impressed that she managed to survive all that has happened so far, and she replies that it is thanks to the stories he told her. Dokja says it is just as he thought. She tells Dokja that he is probably the only kid in the world who told his imprisoned mother about some book he has read because there was nothing else to talk about. Dokja tells her that the book was his everything. Thanks for watching. Everyone, I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated. And hey, drop a comment if you have thoughts or new ideas or just want to say hi. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, take care and stay awesome.